Have you ever tried the perfect diet and it worked for everybody except for you? You cut out carbs, you cut out sugar, you start going to the gym, you start taking all these different supplements, you get into this regimen and you're like, I am going to do this. And you go in like full throttle and you have like the opposite effect. Well, today we are going to talk about why that is. Hi, my name is Dr. Tamitha Davis. I am a naturopath doctor, and I wanted to talk to you guys today about what is our diet supposed to look like and what is our body's blueprint. At some point, you may have tried different diets to see which one will work for you, and you're promised every single time that you start looking into one of these diets that it is the diet for you, that it's worked for thousands of people, and that you start to see all these testimonies, and you're like, yes, this is it. I am going to go in this full throttle, just to come out being completely disappointed. And that's because what works for one person may not work for you. In fact, it can have detrimental effects to your body. We're going to be talking about personalized nutrition and precision healing. It's kind of where science meets your intuition. So understanding how our genes, our gut, and our lifestyle connects the roadmap to our wellness. For decades, we've been told, eat more fruits and vegetables, cut out carbs, cut out sugars, eat more meat, don't eat meat. So what are we really supposed to be doing? In a 2023 study, it took these two people who were similar in weight and age. They were fed the exact same diet because they wanted to see what the impact it had on their blood sugar. And they had two totally different blood sugar levels, and they had different feelings. One had lower energy, one had more energy. Some slept better, the other one didn't sleep as well. That is because their DNA, their genetics was totally different. And this was despite that they were similar in age and similar in body weight composition. And that's because their gut microbiome, their genes, and their hormones were totally different. This is why one person might thrive on a plant-based diet and another one will thrive on more of a meat-based diet. And it's all about how your body actually processes the foods that you eat. So what exactly is personalized nutrition? It's a science that focuses on your genetic data, your gut bacteria, and your blood biomarkers. And you can even wear like a wearable sensor that will help to tailor your food and your lifestyle choices that will fit you. So this is like, instead of following somebody else's diet plan, that you're actually following what your body is telling you that you need. It's like you're listening to your own body's feedback system. Your gut test might reveal to you what good bacteria that you could have to digest fiber or what causes inflammation. The glucose monitor will help you to see which foods are actually spiking your blood sugar and ones that are helping to keep it stable. And once we put all that together, we can stop playing a guessing game on what we should be eating and what we should not be eating. And we like to call this bio-individuality. This is where the idea of your nutrition, herbs, and healing strategies matches your unique biology. Even your ideal sleep schedule and your stress resilience. All right, so let's bring this back to the natural healing part of things. As this personalization isn't just about lab tests and data, it's about tuning in and listening to your body. You start to pay attention to how certain foods and herbs respond to your body. So here's how you can begin right now with no fancy testing. Track your patterns. Notice how you feel after meals. Which food gives you energies and which one makes you feel sluggish and tired. Support your gut microbiome. Your gut bacteria controls inflammation, it controls your immune system, everything. Even your mood. And you want to feed your gut microbiome a diversity of foods. High fiber and fermented foods. We want to make sure we're eating the rainbow because, believe it or not, each color and each different fruit and vegetable feeds specific bacteria in our gut. Then you want to observe your stress response to different things that you're eating. For example, whenever I eat anything pasta or bread, I start to feel sluggish, I start to get tachycardia, I start to feel anxious, and it's hard for me to concentrate. Some different personalized herbs that you could try to see if they work for you would be adaptogenic herbs such as ashwagandha or maca. For inflammation, you can try turmeric or ginger, and stinging nettle helps to alleviate allergies. Some of the things that you can get that would be very beneficial for you is a journal so you can keep track of all this stuff, your moods, everything. Also, getting a continuous glucose monitor would be beneficial, and also getting one of these heart oxygen monitors that you can help keep track of what is your pulse rate. So after you eat something, you feel a little bit anxious, go ahead and check your pulse rate to see if you're having a faster heartbeat. So typically if you're having a faster heart rate that is lasting about like 10 beats per minute at resting, higher than what it typically is, and it's staying there for about an hour, more than likely you may have a food sensitivity. Also, those things would be very beneficial for you if you're feeling more calm and relaxed. You're like, hey, I feel actually calmer now than what I've done in the past. So go ahead and just check your vitals and see if your heart rate is actually lower. Now, technology is advancing by the day. AI and DNA sequencing, along with microbiome mapping, can actually design custom meal plans tailored to your specific DNA. There's all kinds of wearables out there that can track your sleep. There's watches, there's little monitors that you can stick on your body. I prefer to do the watch. It would keep track of how well you're sleeping, if you're in REM sleep, how long you've been sleeping, how many times you moved, your heart rate, a whole 9 yards. And if you don't want to buy all those gadgets, that is fine. That's why I mentioned that we start to keep track in our journal and our finger little, and a continuous glucose monitor. You don't have to have the continuous glucose monitoring, but you just track how you're feeling after you eat meals. Do you feel anxious, tired, blah, 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 blah. But if you can't get a smartwatch, that is a smart thing to do. So here's your challenge for the week. Start observing, just don't change up your diet, just start observing how you're feeling and keeping a journal and tracking what's making you feel good and what's making you feel worse. How is your sleeping? How is your mood? Our bodies are constantly talking to us. It has anywhere from like rashes to inflammation, stiff joints, hair fallout. Our body literally is screaming at us every single day when we are eating poorly. And when we start to eat very clean diets and we start eating according to our genetic and our DNA, our body will start to feel alive. We'll start to be able to move easy. We'll be able to sleep. If we're getting enough fuel into our body to feed our good gut bacteria, if we're having good healthy digestion, our bodies are going to start to feel alive. We need to get back to listening to ourselves. Our body, like I said, is always talking to us. If this video resonated with you, please consider subscribing to the channel, because I have a whole lot more to be talking about on this channel about health and healing and natural ways to get our bodies back into balance. And please do share this video to somebody who would benefit from the information, and I'll see you guys in my next video.